Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me this week. So this week I'm going to be talking about one of the new Canva launches. I think they've launched and released quite a few different new features, probably about 8 or 9 in total. If you go onto their website, you can actually watch their keynote. It's an hour and 20 minutes, but really exciting and just what a masterclass in how to launch new features on their platform. So if you're interested in coming to explore one of the new features on Canva, then please keep on watching. Okay, so if you actually go on here, you can see discover our latest launches, and there's also watch the Canva keynote. I highly recommend you watch the Canva keynote. I mean, it really, again, I have to reiterate, it's a masterclass in how to launch something, how to generate excitement, and how to present on a huge stage and platform. So I'm just going to press on, and I mean, just look at the visuals on Canva. They just keep getting better and better. And the other fantastic thing actually is that they give free access to all educators to the pro version. So discover launches, look at this. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. And here we've got new in Canva. Okay, so you can design emails that are worth opening. You can do precise edits on video. So with the new video timeline, so they're really trying to hope that content creators won't use other software, but really give us a platform that's easy to use where we can edit our videos really easily. And then it's add beautiful forms. Now that's what I'm going to be exploring today, but let's just say see all so that you can see all of the new features. So scale creative campaigns, speed up video workflows, that's on your phone only. Design emails worth opening on mobile as well. Deep dive, give every student a voice with their forms, create a Canva visual suite, etc. So I'm going to be doing not add a form to any design on mobile. I'm going to try to do a deep dive into the forms here. Okay, so I'm just scrolling down because I get really distracted by all of the new features. But you know, if you want to watch me explore another feature later on, let me know. Look, we can make and create beautiful websites, emails, etc. Okay, all right. So let's go into the forms because I love to collect qualitative data, right? That actually gives students a voice. So let's just like click on that and then see what happens. Okay, so I'm just going to press explore forms, and I love how you could spend hours and hours learning about all of the different tools rather. But if I just go to explore tools and then or the forms rather, and then you can see it says go to elements, under browse categories, choose forms, select one from education, tap to view that form type, and then select the form that you want. So here's an example, a lesson reflection. And I love that because I think it's really important that we do collect metacognitive thinking and encourage metacognitive thinking with our students. And we want to ask our students to reflect on their learning throughout the lesson. It doesn't actually have to be at the end. So we go to elements. So I'm going to go to elements, exactly what it says. And it says browse categories, choose forms. Okay, so you can see the different categories here, shapes, and then there's forms, and then the new one, 3D. Yeah, I saw that actually on one of the videos of a YouTuber I follow. So let's just go to forms. And then here are all the different types of forms. There's education, there's events, and so we can, you know, connect this. Oops, let me just open that up again. So let's see all the education ones. And of course, we can edit these templates as well, right? So let me just choose which of the following. How are you feeling today? I think that one's quite good. Okay, I need to insert a new page actually so that that's not on top of the page. I want to keep this. Let's see if I can just copy and paste this quickly here. Yep, there we go. So let's say no, I'm going to say I'm happy today. I just walked up the peak in Hong Kong with a dear friend. So actually, I'm really happy. Let's submit, response saved. Now, if you want to see the responses, can you see up here? You can actually click on the responses and it says view responses linked to a sheet. So let me just view the responses first of all. So anonymous, how are you feeling? 5, great. Or I can link this to a sheet. Let's see what that looks like too. I always like to do book giveaways in my workshop. So this is a great way for people to input a name. Then I have a sheet here, which I can copy and paste into like a spinner wheel, and then we can randomly select. So isn't that wonderful? Open a link sheet. How are you feeling? Okay, total responses. Of course, up here we can change the color to any color that you like. Oh, okay, I need to change this now. Let's say to the dark green, and then the font. I need to change the font because I can't really see that anymore, right? So let's change the font to, I'm just playing around now. So, but you know, you can change it to anything, and let's just make sure that we actually fill in the page as well. Now, let's go back to the instruction page here, the slide. It says, okay, select from the education. I've got that. Select your form, then tap edit. And you've got different types of questions. I think this is such a great new feature because we want to be able to collect qualitative data, not just quantitative data from our students, but qualitative data in terms of what they're thinking, where they think that they are in their learning. And then here it says style it your own way. So of course we can change the colors here. So if I actually click on that, you can see I can change the blue. I love the dark burgundy because that's my brand color, and I can change all. That's what I love about Canva. You can just do one step and it will change all the colors in the whole template for you. See learner responses. So once students have responded, you can view and analyze by looking at the response. So it's actually just here in the floating toolbar. That's so easy. Okay, let me just have a look at the other templates, and I'm sure that they're going to be giving us more templates. So, okay, there's only a few here, but what about if you're in business or if you're running an event? That would be really easy too. All we have to do is just share the link of the Canva. So you can see up here the share button, share this link, and then we can collect all of those responses really easily. Feedback. Okay, let's have a quick look at the feedback. So how did you hear about us? Yep, different ones, customer feedback, rate your experience as well, share your feedback. I always like to share a little survey after my workshops in terms of what they learned, what did teachers learn. And I always use a Google form, but a Google form doesn't work everywhere, right? Especially like in China. So Canva works in China. So maybe I need to migrate some of my workflow into Canva so that it's more inclusive for every part of the world. And what are the others? Let me just have a last look. Okay, icebreaker. Okay, let's have a look at the icebreaker. I'm just going to click on this. Which superpower would you choose? That's a nice starter. Okay, let me just change the color. Now it says teleportation, invisibility, super strength, telekinesis, or time travel. Okay, I'm going to press teleportation because I travel so much. And then let's view the response here. I can see there was, oh, it's got my name. It's recorded my name. Okay, and yeah, I can see view responses, or I can link to a sheet again if I wanted to. This is phenomenal, Canva. If I just go back, I think in the future, I might have a look at, so let me just go back. Here are all the new features, okay? So I think next time, so that this video doesn't get too long, I might have a look at the 3D content generator on the mobile, maybe. I mean, if I want students to understand 3D shape and objects, I really want them to be able to draw nets or have access to a net, and 2D nets actually form 3D objects, right? Generate anything you can imagine with AI-powered elements, okay? Maybe that. I've looked at the forms, okay. Actually, that was a deep dive into student voice with forms. What about add forms to any design? Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, oh yes, I've looked at this one already. So let's look at the activity here. So this is just like adding any form to any presentation, not just a student one. So here I can select the color, of course. So here, yep, I've talked about that before. Go to edit for the floating bar, add a question. So under questions, so go to edit on the floating bar. If I click on this, I can go to edit here. And then it says I can, wow, this is good. It gives me different types of questions. Short answer, long answer, multiple choice checkbox. I'd like to have interactivity. And to be honest, I'm using Mentimeter at the moment. So is there a word cloud? Because I love a word cloud. Not yet. I can't see the word cloud yet. So once Canva, once you introduce the word cloud, then I'm going to migrate and probably close down my subscription to Mentimeter because I think the interactivity is really important. So these are the types of questions. Add a question, tap the emoji for the mood meter. So that's there. Okay, so new question, there's the mood meter. Label your new question, how are we doing? Ta-da. Looking for your responses here, you just go to the floating bar again here. And you can edit any of this. I'm not going to fill this in, but I love this too. How to customize forms with Flex. Amazing. Okay, so that was just looking at a couple of the new features on Canva. I mean, it's so exciting and really helps us as teachers or anybody actually to collect qualitative data. I love the introduction of the use of forms that are interactive. All we need to do is share a Canva link and then people can input their responses. We can link it to a sheet or we can just look at the responses individually. So Canva, once again, you've done it. You've really helped us as a community of educators so much in terms of giving us free access to Canva Pro. So I can't thank you enough. Thank you everyone for joining me this week, and I hope to see you next time.